Hi, I'm Tim, the Woodworking Maniac, and I wanted to give you a bit of an update of what's been happening in my shop. I've been really busy and working on a few projects that I haven't really done any videos on, so I haven't posted anything, but I wanted to give you an update anyway. I haven't really done a shop update in a while, so here we go. First off, I've been working on a couple signs for my church. One of them is going to go on the inside of the church, and that one's going to be kind of interesting because I'm going to try something new that I haven't tried before. This one here I'm making out of cherry, but I need to darken it up to match up a couple of furniture items that's actually inside the church. And that furniture is actually a little bit darker than what this cherry will be. And what's neat about General Finishes is you can actually contact them, send them pictures of your actual lumber and the finished product of what color you're trying to shoot for, and they'll give you an idea of what color mixture you need for the dye stains and what dye stains that they provide of what you can actually get to achieve that color. So I contacted them. They get their professional crew into this and figure out what color matches they can use and give you a recommendation of what dye stain mixtures to use. So I've got a couple dye stains that I'm going to be using to try to do a stain on this sign to actually make and try to match that furniture that they have in their interior portion of this church, of my church. And it's the first time I've used dye stains. I've used other stains and stuff like that in the past, but I know that the dye stain will actually achieve a little bit deeper of a color, so I wanted to use the dye stains. And this is the first time I've used dye stains, so I'm kind of interested to see how this works out. I'll probably video it. I don't know if I'll actually make a video on it, but I'll probably record it. Just being my first experience with it, I'll probably at least record it, and I don't know if it'll turn out to be any sort of interesting video or not, but if it does, I might make a video on it. So that's one thing I've been working on. I've got the sign done. I just got to work on the actual staining portion of it now. But another thing, I'm actually making another sign for the exterior portion of the church. And it's not actually going in the sun or anything like that. It's actually going to sit underneath a canopy. So it's not going to be exposed to the elements all that much. But I am going to be using an exterior finish to protect it regardless. But this sign is going to be really big. It's actually going to be 10 foot long and around 2 feet tall. And I'm making it out of white oak. And it's also going to be 2 inches thick. So this thing is going to be heavy. I actually have 2 portions of it glued up. One of them I'm kind of standing on right now. It's drying right now. But I glued it in a couple halves so I can actually take it across my joiner and smooth it out. This way I could glue the 2 halves together smoothed out. And the first half, it's about 10¼ inches wide, 10 foot long, 2 inches thick, and that weighs about 75 pounds. Or I'm sorry, 77 pounds. Just that one chunk. And the other chunk is actually close to 12 inches wide, so it's going to be even heavier. So I'm kind of interested to see this whole sign put together. It's going to be close to around 150 pounds after it's finally done. So it's going to be really interesting to maneuver and work around in my shop. But one thing interesting about making this sign is I had to rearrange my shop to actually work with it because I had to mill up this rough lumber. I started off with rough sawn lumber, and I had to mill it. So my joiner, it's in the middle of my shop. I'm able to work with that, no problem. But my planer, where I had it positioned, it was actually going the width of my shop. And my shop is longer or deeper than it is wide. And where my planer was sitting, I couldn't actually mill that lumber. I had a storage cabinet on this side and a shelving unit on the other side to where I couldn't actually feed the boards in, and the boards wouldn't be able to come out the other side. It would run into the cabinet. So I moved my planer. I at first thought about sending the wood out the garage door, just having the garage door up, because today's beginning of spring, so it's actually becoming nice outside. But I decided not to have the garage door open. I just moved the planer out to the middle of my shop and fed the boards in from the back of my shop toward the front. And the nice thing about the Nordfab ductwork is I can just kind of rearrange it real quick. I can disconnect it, reconnect it, and even if it's a temporary scenario, it could just be temporarily connected like that. But after having it connected this way and set up for that way for a little while, I decided, you know what, I kind of like having the planer over here because that actually opened up that back portion of my shop and it wasn't really in the way where I had it. So I decided to kind of rearrange it a little bit and set it up here a little bit more permanently. So now, as you can see, I'm showing you a picture now. I've got the planer set up here at the end of the table saw with the bandsaw at the end of it. And I did have the bandsaw at the end of the where the planer is sitting now. Basically, all I did was kind of scoot the bandsaw out a little further and set the planer in there. So now that's going to be the planer's permanent home. And I kind of like it that way. And now I could actually work with 10-foot lumber if I want to. And it doesn't impede my shop workflow at all. It works out just fine. I'm kind of happy with the way it worked out. And like I said, with the Nordfab ductwork, I was able to just kind of reconfigure it without a problem. Now with any other stainless steel or even the plastic PVC ductwork, you cut that stuff up. The PVC, typically you would glue that together. And the stainless steel stuff, you would screw that together, cut it up, screw it together. And it's kind of permanent. Once you've screwed it together and taped it, if you have the stainless steel, you would want to tape those seals together and stuff. And that's a lot of work to do to end up taking it apart and reconfiguring it. This Nordfab stuff, it's more of an investment for sure. But if you ever buy a new tool or rearrange it, it's a simple disconnect, reconnect, and reconfiguration. I was able to do this in a matter of like an hour or two of just reconfiguring it and figuring out how I wanted to lay it out. And it was more time thinking of how I wanted to position it than it was reconfiguring the Nordfab stuff. So kudos to Nordfab. I love their stuff. It's pretty cool. And also this drop here, I finally got around to actually dropping in this over here. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw a video I posted of finally putting in my floor sweep. So that's nice to have. So put in a floor sweep. So that's another thing I did in my shop. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, speaking of Instagram, I posted a picture, I guess it's about a week ago or so, of Mike Fulton. He stopped by my shop. And a matter of fact, today is his birthday. So happy birthday, Mike Fulton. I saw that on Facebook earlier. So happy birthday. And he stopped by my shop. His whole family, they were on vacation and they were on their way home. So they swung by here and hung out for a bit. Their kids played with my son up in his room, played around with some Legos and some toys, and then ended up on the video games and playing for a while. And we hung out in the shop for a little while, checking some things out, and had a good time just visiting for a while. I met them at WIA, and then also we're going to see each other again here in about a week or so in Atlanta. So if you guys are heading into Atlanta at the Woodworking show, I think it's the 1st through the 3rd in Atlanta. Definitely check us out down there. There's going to be a ton of video woodworkers, bunch of YouTube woodworkers out there. It's going to be a big bash. I think it's going to be way bigger than what WIA was. So I think it's going to be really awesome. I know we had a blast at Woodworking America this past year. It's going to be awesome at the Woodworking show. So definitely check us out over at Atlanta. I think to the 1st and to the 3rd. So that's gonna be a good time. Another thing I did want to mention, Supermax Tools. They actually sent me an email. If you've seen my video, I posted a video about my Supermax sander. I've got a Supermax 25-2 ES sander. That thing is becoming like the life of my shop. I use that on just about every project that I send through here, and that sander is awesome. It replaced my Grizzly sander, and I bought that Grizzly sander replacing my old Performax sander, and that was a complete disappointment. I ended up not using that Grizzly sander hardly at all, mainly because the dust collection on the thing was terrible. A couple other things I mentioned in the video. Check my old video out about the Supermax sander. I talked about some things in there. But Supermax sent me an email telling me that they've got a special going on the Supermax right now on that particular sander. And it's while supplies last. So they don't have an end date or anything like that. So it's while supplies last. If you buy one of those 25-2 ESs, the same sander that I've got, they're giving away 4 free boxes of sandpaper along with it. So like I said, while supplies last, check it out. Pretty cool. I've even got a link on the sidebar of my website. So it's supermaxtools.com, but if you want to, you can go to woodworkingmaniac.com. There's a link on the sidebar of my website if you want to just go from there. But check it out, supermaxtools.com. That sander, I'll praise it. It's an awesome sander. I love it. But that's about it. I hope you all have a great Palm Sunday. I know we've got Easter coming around next week. I'm looking forward to seeing some pretty cool projects that people are probably going to be doing for Easter and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to even do any sort of Easter project. I have been slammed to the bone working just in the shop and stuff like that, and just family life. But I hope you all have a blessed week and all that with your families. But it's just been great. Hope you all enjoy this video, and y'all have a great week. God bless.